don't know how to describe that lady.
I remember that day I told that lady, I wish you get out of this taxi and get bumped by a car.
Since we fight. Namanje.
Sorry guys.
Each one, got to teach one. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
Igama lami Nosiphiwo Masikane, ngikhulele KZN, but I currently stay in Pretoria. So khula kwami was an easy journey for me, mainly because my parents never treated me any different. Just because I had a disability, they never sidelined me whatsoever. So I was diagnosed with scoliosis. So scoliosis is a condition where you have your spine curve into an S or a C. So basically, the reason why I can't walk is because my spine is not straight and it doesn't have the power to give me the ability to be able to walk. The doctors had already determined my life and never given me the chance to live, and told my parents that I wouldn't make it to the age of 10. And here I am today, a decade older. I'm really thankful for my parents because they never listened to what the doctors had to say. Just imagine if they listened to them, they would have lost hope, not given me a chance to live. So I'm really thankful for my parents and their strong personalities, because with them, they made it possible for me to live and be the young lady that I am today. So my mother's name was Nosophiwo Masikane. It was very nice growing up with her, because everyone loves that mother love. Up until 2006, where she passed away. Sorry guys. My mom got sick and I lost her 2006. Losing my mom was very hard because they say I was a mama's girl and apparently I look like her. So it was hard because obviously after losing her, people would always say, hey, you look like your mom. They would always bring her up. So it was really hard. Trying to forget about it was really hard, and it was something that was not possible. Even today, I think about her. So it was really hard. My dad was Nosiphiwo Masikane, and there's a lot to say about him. So my dad went to exile when he was 14 years or 15, if I'm not mistaken. That alone showed me how strong he was. I mean, leaving your own family behind, going to exile just to fight for your country means a lot to me. So he was part of the military veteran of Umkhonto weSizwe. He then came back and became the bodyguard of the late Utata Nelson Mandela and the former president Jacob Zuma. So mentioning that alone shows how my dad was. He was a strong character. He was a fighter, a soldier, a pillar to us, the family. So after my mom passed away, my dad got someone, Someone would think ukuthi uzosiphatha kahle. Someone would think ukuthi uzovala the void of losing my mother. Little did we know that my dad took in, I don't know how to describe that lady. I don't want to use bad words, but she took in a useless person. She never ever filled the void. You know how they are. First few months they act like they love you, but down the line we would see this person useless. At times when we want to speak to my dad, she would say that silala no babetu. Why do you go to the bedroom to speak to your father? What do you guys do there? So basically the year 2006 for me and my sister was a horrible year, because that's the year we lost my mother, and that's the year my dad got ill, like he got paralyzed. He had cancer on his spine, and when they tried to remove the cancer, it made him paralyzed. So that year for us was difficult, because after that my dad was never the same again. I would think that he would have the confidence and the strength that I have today, but it broke him down, because he would think he was useless as a man who was on a wheelchair and he couldn't take care of us. So that was the difficult part. And then 2017, the 19th of October, we lost my dad at around before noon. So at the hospital, they called us to come in the morning. We got there. So my dad, he was still breathing, but you could tell that that it was his last day. I remember so well. I went to him. He was breathing normal, but when I went to him, I held his hand. When I held his hand, you could tell that he didn't want to let me go. But all in all, I'm really grateful, because my dad showed us that he really loved us. Had I not touched my dad, had we not whispered into his ear that it's okay for him to leave us, I think he would still be fighting, trying to live, but we knew that it's his time to go, so that's how we lost my dad. Honestly, when I look back, I never enjoyed high school. I never wanted to go to that place.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
Primary school for me was normal. Just like any child, they'll always want to go to school. Honestly, when I look back, I never enjoyed high school. I never wanted to go to that place. I think because of how some of the learners would treat you. There's this other girl. I remember her very well. Should I say she was the top dog of the school? I don't know. She thought she was, or I don't know. But she would always pinpoint other people's disabilities, you know. She'd always say, "Ay wena, lento engakwazi ukuhamba," you know. Honestly, if I had the powers to not go to high school, I'd stay at home and start my businesses. But I did this because of my dad, you know. He wanted me to finish, matriculate, you know. So I did it mainly because of him. But in all honesty, it wasn't for me.
As a sister, it made me angry when I saw people staring at her. There were times when I would ask, "Oh, what are you staring at?" Like, I'd get so aggressive. What are you staring at? Why are you making her feel like there's something wrong?
So I get that a lot of times. I get people looking down on me, looking bad at me, asking me what happened, you know. And angibapheleli inhliziyo, because at some point, some people are not educated. So angibapheleli inhliziyo, I explain, and it's up to them to take it, to ukuthi bayifake engqondweni, or for them to continue looking down on persons with disabilities.
And I remember there was a time at Texini, a lady was complaining about Nosiphiwo's wheelchair, ivala indlela or izobangcolisa. I remember that day I told that lady, I wish you get out of this taxi and get bumped by a car so you can see how it is and if you'd like people saying that to you. So I was very protective over my sister. I still am. Angifuni nix ngosisi wami. Ukuthi manje how we made it, I don't know. I think it's by the grace of God because I don't know besophila kanjani if it wasn't for that. Nokuthi ubaba angifundisa vele ukuba strong nje from the time my mama shone. I think nalokho kwangisiza.
Being the person that she is, loving and caring, she took it upon herself to be there to step in. So I feel like she played a huge role as a person, and putting me first before her was the best, and I applaud her for that.
My uncle, Andile, he was also there for us during the tough times. We would call him as well.
Even nengane zesikole ezayifunda khona ezinye ezazi right befunda nengane engathi azinayo i-disability per se. Zona bahlukumeza zibatreata kabi. uNosiphiwo wagcina futhi naye eseneteam yakhe, wagcina voice yamanye ama-students ane-disability.
In 2016, I did my higher certificate in events management, and I graduated in 2017. Then I went back in 2017 to do my BA in corporate communications. Honestly, it's such a pleasure to be part of that institute because they made it possible for me to be in the institute. They changed everything to make my needs heard, you know. An instance was that they moved my class to the bottom in order for me to be able to access it properly, and they told all the lecturers to be the ones coming to me rather than for the students going to the lecture. So they made everything possible, and I really thank them for that because my tertiary years are just amazing with them. The biggest lesson I've taught other people, especially those who have disabilities, is that they are not an inconvenience to anyone and they shouldn't look down on themselves just because they have a disability. I always tell them, Uguti, you are not an inconvenience. Do what you have to do without looking back, without regrets, because you only have one life and God has brought you to this world for a purpose. If God didn't want you to be in this world, you wouldn't be here, so make the most of it while you're still alive. I was sitting, it was after my birthday, I remember very well. I was sitting in my bedroom and I texted my uncle Ngati, you know, there's something I want to start. Mainly I wanted it to be a reality show for ladies who are on wheelchairs. So Ladies on Wheels started in 2018 after my father passed away.
Obade ngisho ukuthi esikoleni wagcina voice. Ngingasho ukuthi it's before if ngizobala zonke lezo zinto because she has been helping people. But ukuthi ayiqale ayithathe serious, wayithatha serious in 2018. Makusanda kushona ubaba wakhe ila abuya khona uthi okay into emele ngiyenze manje ukuthi mele ngenze ngisiza abantu abane disability. Mayiqala ukuyivula yayifocusanga ngabantu ladies on wheelchairs. Kodwa ngokuhamba nabantu aba reach out to the foundation. We couldn't just focus on ladies on wheelchairs. We had to welcome everyone because we cannot say you are not on a wheelchair, you are not a lady, we cannot assist you. So yagcina isinkulu ke yaba on a bigger scale ngaleyo ndlela leyo.
Angazi ngabahlambalaza, and I'm still going to push for success.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
The role my uncle has played is remarkable because he's my uncle, my father's younger brother, and after losing my dad, he was the one that stepped up and ubaba kumina. So he has played a huge role, although we fight most of the time and argue and but he's been a loving soul. He still is, and he has accepted me and angamukela ngazo zonke izandla zakhe ukuthi ngibe ingane yakhe, angisekele ngazo zonke izinto engizifunayo, and he's my support structure together with my sister.
Since emncane uyifighter namanje i-Ladies on Wheels ngabe kumele ngaba yikho because sineyinkinga zemali, but because of leso spirit lesanaso ukuthi no, so forsa kuzoze kulunge isakhona, and we're going strong.
My part school, Ladies on Wheels, I deal with the finance side, checking in donations that come in and what we can do with that, as well as just helping her fulfill her dream. I'm an all-rounder. If you need me to volunteer, I'm there. If she needs me to do something for her for Ladies on Wheels, I'm there. But yeah, I'm just her right-hand man. You can put it like that.
So Ladies on Wheels is an organization that looks into changing the narrative of disabled men and women, and to showcase that their disabilities are not, to showcase their strengths and that their disabilities are not an inconvenience to anyone. So under Ladies on Wheels, our core focus is to speak to, we don't sideline disabilities, although our core is focusing on ladies who are on wheelchairs like myself. However, we make sure that we cover all the disabilities, and through Ladies on Wheels, we make sure that we motivate them, we build confidence, because some of them don't have confidence like I do. So I take it upon myself to be the voice of them, and also to encourage them that whatever they put their hearts to, they can do it, and they shouldn't listen to anyone who's telling them that they can't do it just because they have a disability.
So Ladies on Wheels manje ngisho ukuthi it's just helping people, advisor. We are doing a lot of things. We are serving hearty meals for people with disabilities, and also the needy people also. Ziningi izinto ezenzayo. Kukhona abafikayo ethi like I don't have diapers, we need to make sure that we make a plan. So like umuntu odinga usizo nje Ladies on Wheels iyamsiza. But the core is about abantu abane disability. Kodwa mase kufika umunye umuntu angeke sikwazi ukumcheckisa.
I-change enkulu engiyibonile manje uNosiphiwo is that she goes out a lot now. She's very, 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 very social. She doesn't like being home much, but other than that, it's still the same. Oh, and the fact that she's just lazy now. I don't know. It's like the more famous she gets, the lazier she gets. So yeah, that's the biggest change I've seen. Other than that, she's still loving, cheerful, funny, sometimes moody, but we love her. We love her.
uNosiphiwo ungifundise ukuthi empilweni noma athiwa une challenge njani uyawazi ukuthi usebenze around yona ufike la ufuna ukufika khona. uNosiphiwo ungifundise ukuthi disability is just a word. Ukuthi umuntu une disability akumele umbone ngenye indlela ngoba ungafunda okuningi kuyena. Ngisho ngathi une disability enjani, ngisho athiwa it's a mental disability, ungafunda ngobuntu from that person. You can learn about kindness.
The reason why I entered Top Model South Africa is because I wanted to show the world that even though you have a disability or you are mobility impaired, you can still enter into pageants. And that's the main reason why I entered Top Model South Africa, and I won. It felt amazing.
When it comes to her being in the limelight and her education, I did have a slight problem. Ukuthi it might distract her, and she would step back from finishing her education. But then, does education have a time frame? I don't think it does. She can go back whenever. Imfundo I khulelwa, as they say. You are never too old to go back to school. So I'm at the point where I think, you know what, ride this wave for as long and as far as you can, And you can always go back to school. Your degree doesn't have an expiry date, you know. But it was a concern at first, but now I'm just okay with it.
I feel like I've impacted the world, or should I say the disabled community in a good way, because in most cases I get people commending me with what I'm doing, and they thank me that I'm being their voice and that they are being noticed. So I feel like I've tried to impact the community positively, and I feel like nothing will stop me at this point. I'm still pushing forward to build a name for us, and yeah.
In fact, nomtshela na ukuthi it may sound bad, but nokusho ukuthi yazi if mhlambe awungekho disabled ngabe asikho nala esikhona manje, but disability yakho iyona esizayo. Uyabo ukuthi sifike la sifuna ukufika khona because nami uyangifundisa izinto, ngiye izinto ezwrong engizenzayo, ngikwazi ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngipush. Nawe le disability yakupush ukuthi reach a new heights. Maybe if you are not disabled, bebezothi bekuvalela iminyango uthi I know I'm leaving this, I'm going ngiyofuna umsebenzi, ngifuna uba 9 to 5, no ngeke ngisakwazi ukusiza abantu because ama options akho besezobe maningi. So ngasho ukuthi disability yakhe yadalwa for a reason, and we are living that purpose now.
The biggest lesson I've learned ukuthi ngibekezele kwinto engisifunayo and make sure that I push to get what I really want. So perseverance for me is key, and that's what I've learned. Based on what I've achieved right now, I feel like my parents are really happy, because I feel like Uguti, they are seeing, it's evident to them, Uguti, I've taken on their personality, and I've listened to what they've told me when I was young, that I should go for it and I shouldn't look down on myself, nor should I worry what other people say. So I feel like they are looking down on me and rejoicing wherever they are, and which makes me happy, because angazi ngabahlambalaza, and I'm still going to push for success.